Hi, I'm Josh from Apt. Here we have the iPad series available right now at the time of the video, the iPad mini and the iPad Air. So really, a lot of people are looking for a tablet. They want Apple, they like their iPhones, they like their Macs, and they find it intuitive, and they want an iPad, and people have already made that decision. But the question then becomes, do I get a mini or do I get an Air? The full-size screen versus the smaller screen really is the big question for many. A lot of people, though, they want the big screen, or a lot of people want that small screen. So here's some major differences. The mini, for example, I can hold with one hand. So really, this is like the ideal iPad for consuming content. So if I wanted to surf the web, it's very convenient for me to have it held in one hand, and then I can operate it with my other hand. As opposed to the iPad full size, I can still hold it with one hand, but it is a little awkward how I'm holding it. I can't reach around the sides of it. It's not as comfortable in one hand. It can be held in one hand, so it works. Obviously, it's not a big deal. But for those that read a lot, that's the big one, is that they like the size of a mini for reading when they're flipping pages. Like you look at the other competition, and they all have these smaller size tablet styles for reading, and that's because it's a great size for the hand. So the Mini also is going to give you a few options. There's Mini 1, Mini 2, and Mini 3 right now. There's a lot of options, but that's a lot of variety and a great range of prices that are much lower than getting an iPad Air. Airs only right now come in the Air 1 or the Air 2. A lot of big differences, but you're still starting at a premium compared to the series of Mini. So when you look at the iPad Air, the big deal with the Air is going to be performance besides the screen, especially the Air 2. The iPad Air 2 is going to have a much more significant power for processing. It has better graphics than the Mini 3. Compared to the Mini 3, it's 2.5 times the graphics. It's 40% faster processor. They both have the fingerprint scanner, but that bigger screen is really ideal for not just consuming content like reading books, surfing the web, or checking my email, but really it's more for someone that wants to go beyond the basics, or people that sometimes just want a bigger screen. But if I was opening up iMovie and I'm making movies and video editing, or if I have GarageBand open with timelines streaming across my bigger screen, it makes it easier for me to create on it. If you're creating a keynote presentation, things like that where you're really interacting more and creating besides just consuming content. I think the Air is going to give you a better option for that just because of that extra screen size, and the Air 2 gives you a huge advantage with power with that processor and the graphics boost. You also have a better camera on the Air 2, so that's something worth considering. But if you're buying your iPad because all you want to do is read books, surf the web, and check your email, then it makes sense to get the iPad mini. So you really kind of want to ask yourself, what do I want a tablet for? How am I going to use a tablet? Am I going to use it for basic stuff, just check my email and so forth? Then consider the mini. It's a nice size to hold on to, and there's a lot of options starting at $249 right now. So you have a wide range of choices and capacities and prices. Air 1 starts off at about $400 and goes up from there. So you are looking at a little more money on a bigger screen iPad Air series. And if you're not going to need those features for having bigger screen size so that you can work on your iMovies and things like that, because if all you're doing is reading and basic stuff, you'll consider that mini as a main option. Or you just want the big screen. A lot of options with iPads, and you kind of want to ask yourself, how are you going to use it? And then that might help you kind of come together to figure out which one makes more sense for you. At app.com, we've got a full lineup of Apple product. We're also an Apple Authorized Service Center, so if you have questions about your Apple products, feel free to contact App Direct. We have great customer service and love to hear some feedback.